Hmm. Hello, welcome Heart to Heart, episode number 13 with the happiness coach. So, welcome to the show, the happiness coach. And I know you from last more than 4 years, right? Or 5 years? Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, something like that. So, the name happiness coach, whenever anybody can listen, kind of butterflies, happy butterflies. So yeah, it's your call. If you'd like to share anything about you, about your journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, first of all. You've started a wonderful podcast talking with different coaches on different topics. And thank you for inviting me. It's really wonderful to be here. So, I'm Muhib, the happiness coach. And the first thing mostly people ask me is why happiness coach?
Hmm.
Because happiness is seems to be a very shallow thing, right? It comes and goes, and why happiness, right? And so to me, I when I started my journey of coaching
Hmm.
many years ago, I realized that because the work I do is mostly with emotions,
Hmm.
emotional literacy, emotional intelligence, self awareness. And the one emotion that I realized is the most ignored is happiness,
Hmm.
right? When did the last time you talked to somebody about you being happy,
Hmm. Are you
right?
asking me? Okay.
I'm asking you. You seem to be always happy. But have you ever talked to anybody like, hey, yesterday I was so happy. I don't
No,
know why.
no way.
Right? We never look into our happiness emotion. Oh, where it is coming from? How can we generate more of it? What are the circumstances? Right? And but if we are sad, we are talking to everybody about it, right? We even hire coaches like me and pay them to talk about the sadness,
Yeah.
right? But we
True.
never look into, okay, what makes me happy and how can
Hmm.
I do more of what makes me happy to have more happiness in my life? Or, you know, how to have more of what makes me happy around because the foundation of happiness is allowing unhappiness.
Beautiful. So deep.
So, if we are allowing unhappiness, we need to have some happiness around to grab it while we are going through that journey.
Hmm.
The thing is, we fight emotions, not realizing that emotions are only here to protect us.
Hmm.
Emotions only come because the sensations we give to our mind is the same sensations as when we feel to be in danger. So our brain works at 100% capacity at all times. And its main function is to protect us.
Hmm.
So it jumps into, and since we have a primitive mind, we go through the four responses that
Hmm.
the first man started with the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So we go into that. Our mind thinks as if we are being attacked by a dangerous animal, or and we react based on what the programming is in our mind and how we have adapted it from a young age by observing and experiencing things in life. So now we are fighting the emotions which are only here to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't question where is it coming from. We're just constantly fighting. So emotions are not to be fought. Emotions are to be understood and managed. We will always feel things. The emotions will always be there. But before understanding and managing, there is something which we all miss, is naming the emotion right. Because majority of us, maybe all of us, are emotionally illiterate. So there's a lot of talk about emotional intelligence, but not much about emotional literacy.
True.
So if you're naming the emotion wrong, then your intelligence is based on the wrong information. So your awareness is also on the wrong intelligence. So what you're basing on the self-awareness that you claim to be having is all not at the right, with the right information. So if you're calling frustration anger, then you're behaving angrily, even though you are very aware.
True.
Or annoyance, or disappointment. But how you're, because you're naming it, I'm angry. But are you really angry? Maybe you're frustrated. Maybe you're annoyed. Maybe you're disappointed. Maybe you're disappointed towards yourself more than the other person. But then you're calling this anger, oh, you made me feel this way. So now I'm angry, so I want to. So, emotions, the world of emotions is a very beautiful place. Majority of us are unable to name more than 5 or 7 emotions, and majority of those emotions are negative emotions. I don't call it negative, but for audience to understand it, I say negative, and negative, they see it as negative, as sadness or anger, or all the other emotions that disturb their regular behavior. So that's what I do. And I work with different individuals to help them manage their stress and anxiety and sadness, um, and help them get clarity about themselves, what they're seeing and what they're seeing, and how they can, and help them with the tools that they have to see things differently about themselves, about the world, and about the things that's happened. Because why we do what we do is based on our beliefs, which are formed from a very young age
Mm-hmm.
by our observations and our experiences.
True.
So we are meaning making machines. So we see and we give a meaning to it. We
Mm.
experience and we give it a meaning to it. And we form a belief that, okay, if it is like this, then it means this. If it is like this, then it means like this. Then I behave like that.
Mm.
And since we are cognitively biased, all of us, we see what we want to see, and we see things that confirm our beliefs more
Mm.
than anything else.
Mm.
Like, if you believe on something, you'll ignore everything else, and you'll find that one thing that confirms your belief, and then you'll say, "Uh-huh,
Mm.
see, I told you." So, so then we continue with that belief, and that becomes a behavior,
Mm.
and then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes an identity.
True.
And then we say, I was born like this. I
Mm.
was born angry. I was born sensitive, right?
So interesting, isn't it? So, can I ask you one question? Like, as you said, there are four kind of responses, right? The last one, uh, phones, like, what do you like to say about this? That many people I have seen, mostly the people who are not very expressive and not very okay with the confrontation, rather to accept the situation.
So, okay. So let me explain one by one, and then we get to the form.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. So fight is very clear.
Hmm.
The fight response is we face the animal that's attacking us,
Hmm.
and we fight it.
Hmm.
And then um, flight is when we run away.
Hmm.
Freeze is when we just quiet, we just freeze, and then we stay quiet, and we just dissociate ourselves and try to be not seen,
Hmm.
and just disappear in the shadow, in the background.
Hmm.
So because some animals in previous time or even now, like snakes and all, they follow movement. So if you freeze and you don't move, they can't detect you. Uh, or something like that, the
Hmm.
in that context. So, and then comes the fawn.
Hmm.
Fawn is, I'm actually not sure why it is actually called fawning,
Hmm.
but it's more on people pleasing.
Hmm.
So what happens here is, here you feed the animal in
Hmm.
fear of not being eaten.
Ah, okay.
So you make sure that your abuser is fed on time.
Hmm.
Is, for some it can be like, um, make sure the house is clean before somebody arrives. It can be husband or wife, the one partner, or you'll get in trouble. Make sure the food is cooked right. There's
Hmm.
not too much salt. Make sure no, you don't make too much noise. So there's always constant sacrifices are made to make sure the other person is happy. Otherwise, you will be in trouble.
Hmm.
So constant pleasing, and then For a person like that, it goes on to other things. It can be at work with a boss or with a colleague or with, they're constantly in that pleasing thing where
Mm.
where you'll find them saying unnecessarily sorry for every little thing, even if it's not their thing. And this will be always like, no mind, no mind, no mind. Uh, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. Like constantly taking on things so they don't, so as long as they can avoid the getting into trouble. So with
So,
that, a behavior shapes. They can go
mm,
quiet, they avoid things, but they are constantly under some kind of fear.
hmm, interesting. Really interesting because I feel majority of people who are at home or in the office, it depends on the nature. I'm not talking about any gender, but majority of people, I think, uh, if sometimes if they're not also people pleasure, but they don't want any conflict, right? So is there any difference? It's quite interesting, and I'd
Definitely,
like to ask
definitely.
you.
So one is the
People, yeah,
okay. Go on, go on, go on.
peacemakers, like who doesn't want any conflicts, right? That I don't want shouting, and many people they don't like. Their body mind is not allowing shouting loudly and
Why?
saying some bad words and something.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking in
No,
general.
but
That
that's the question, right? That
yeah,
you need to ask why. What are
yeah,
they really
yeah. That's
avoiding?
why that was my question. That why? And is there any
Right?
difference between the people who are we are naming it that they're in a fawn zone, and they are the people who are in the uh freeze.
Freeze or fright even.
Yeah,
So that's very, you can't just simply say it based on
categorize.
one behavior,
Yeah.
right? It can be other things, or it can be a mix of both. They
Hmm.
can be for a people pleaser at the same time. They can be, they can freeze and fawn depending on all that. But
Hmm.
end of the day, everything we do or we don't do serves a need within us.
Hmm.
So what is happening? So for that we need to, investigate a bit more on, okay, why and why and why and why,
True.
7 times at least, to get to the
Hmm.
bottom of why it's actually happening.
Hmm. So every time it's not the reason that only fear factor is the reason. Um, what else it
Always fear
can be?
factor.
Always fear cut. Okay. Okay.
There's always a fear.
But I have seen coach many people who are very comfortable, like, who are very happy, well established, and having a good family, whatever the minimum requirements the people are looking for. Still, sometimes they're in fight or fonts. And when I personally try to talk to them, they become freeze. They don't want to talk about emotions. They don't want to talk about, or maybe they're not interested about watching some movies which are uh, kind of related to emotions. They like fighting. Yeah, they're
Correct.
very comfortable with that.
Absolutely. So you see, again, what are they running from?
Yeah.
What happens if they talk about that? Again, there's a fear factor in it.
Hmm.
And they like to watch action, uh, because it gives them some kind of a different imagination, or it's something which is which does not trigger them. It does not put them in a place where they they feel uncomfortable, or they can dissociate from the world and just go into that imaginary world of action.
Mm.
Or, for example, some movies are like, singing and dancing, and, a lot of it is unrealistic. And sometimes it's very comforting to just watch something like that, which is not really actually possible.
There is a concern that majority of people they love action movies.
Mm, it's very difficult to say majority, because the thing is, our sample size of making such judgments are
Mm.
always very little.
Mm. But why I'm saying because look at the movies, how they have been created and how they are doing business. Though it's not our area, but still, I always have a question that the movie which is heat, very much famous, and I have heard the names thousand times, but when I get into it, I got to know that
Okay,
only
which movie is very famous?
I don't know the name, but many people they
I mean, like Hindi movies. Let's even say Hindi movies, no
I don't
action
have
movie.
any. Mm, I'm not a movie person, but
So,
I got
so
a feedback like I don't know the name, but maybe some songs are very became famous. But when I tried to watch this, I just couldn't because it's so
too much
so
for you.
too much.
I understand. So
Yeah.
that so the thing is, movies are a different story. People watch it for different reasons. It's not
Yeah.
just about what's happening in the movie. It's also about who is in the movie,
Yeah.
right? Who is the hero of the movie? So,
Mm.
a Shah Rukh Khan movie and a Salman Khan movie and an Amir Khan movie will will have its audience regardless of what kind of movie it is, or
Mm.
an Amitabh Bachchan movie, or
Mm.
if we go to Bollywood, a Tom Cruise movie, or or depending on the star power it has and how it is marketed, and you know based on
Mm.
all those things. So there's a whole lot of factors. And when is it released, and who are they targeting? You know, so
Good question. Who are they targeting? That the people they go and watch that extreme bloodsheds and all. This is always in my mind. Do
so
you like, do you love to watch these kind of movies?
I watch all kind of movies.
Mm, okay.
So you see, movie now there's not so much in cinema.
Hmm.
It's coming into Netflix and all these
Yeah.
channels, right?
Yeah.
And for example, there was one very violent series
Mm.
um, called Mirzapur.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so. I
and
think so.
and it did very well,
Hmm.
uh, because there was a whole plot of things. It was very violent, but there was the storyline. There was acting was really good. There was a whole lot of things, and it
Hmm.
went on for 3 seasons. Now they're even making a movie out of it.
Oh, okay.
And then at the same time, there are other movies which are very family oriented, and they also do very well. For example, now recently there was a series called Musafir Cafe.
Okay.
It did very well,
Okay.
and it
Hmm.
is a love story
Hmm.
of
Okay.
heartbreaks and relationship and things like that.
Okay. Hmm.
And it was received really well, and worldwide, it's people are. So it's
Hmm.
very difficult to say things like that, that this is happening more and this is happening less. I
Mm.
think movies are very subjective based on how it's marketed and how it is presented and what's in it.
No, there is a reason why I shared with you because many people, as I'm working with, the people who has gone through some several abusing, bullying in their childhood, and it has not, they couldn't get a chance to share with their maybe parents or maybe the close one, and they have been to the practitioners like who are the doctors, medical, and maybe for 8 to 10 years, they have been to medication. Okay. Now their behavioral pattern has become so violent that their family members are sometimes scared about their behavioral pattern and they lock themselves into one room. Okay. So when I got an opportunity to talk to few people of like this, um, they're thinking like the movie Joker, I think the old one, uh, this kind of movies, like uh, what I was talking about, that more bloodsheds and more killing and more, kind of a revenge. So I talked to them openly that why you guys are looking into this. So their answer, almost common, came to me that feeling good, revenge, feeling good. So, and they started following some kind of very, I mean, most of them, if you know, I mean, obviously you are aware, they're more into Ravana. Like Ravan's character, more, they're close to heart, that they respect a lot, and Lord Shiva, and, that dance and, all that. So I questioned about into a deeper zone that killing is something which attracts you. So mostly they said yes. We felt that somehow we are able to take revenge.
Okay. So you see, there's the thing is,
Yeah.
which came first?
Me?
This
Yeah.
behavior and this thinking
Hmm.
started when?
Long time when they were kid.
They were kids, right?
Hmm.
They started watching these kind of movies, and this they start building the same, right, belief, behavior, habit, identity.
No, they have not started long before. The incident took place on their life
Okay,
and
so
they
then,
failed to care and they failed to get the responses what was expected.
okay,
So
so
they had
the
to choose
movie
this
thing
line
started when?
when they felt that there is no one to listen. Everybody will
Correct,
judge.
correct. See, then we go back to why again, right?
Yeah,
So why?
yeah,
So they feel that nobody's there. They need to take revenge, and the world is against them.
yes,
You know,
yeah,
well, and they've formed this belief now.
yeah. And what is so bad?
Well, it is their belief right now, right?
Yeah.
So based on where they are and how they are thinking and what they're exposed to
Mhm.
and what they're exposing themselves to, you can't expect them to dance around and sing like a romantic person, right? Because they're constantly in this.
Yeah. Pain.
First of all, the biggest thing is they don't like themselves.
Exactly. Mm.
So self love, self respect, all that is not there.
Mm.
So the one thing that they want from the world, they're unable to give it themselves to themselves.
Right.
I
Beautiful.
want you to love me and respect me, but do you do the same to yourself?
Mm.
No. So there is a big disconnect. And the
Right.
whole anger is outwards, even though there's a majority of anger is also inwards because they can't face themselves.
Mm.
So there needs to be a bit more conversation with these guys to
Right.
get to the bottom of things before we say that the movies did this to them.
Mm.
Movies is there, everybody is watching, but not everybody is thinking that way,
Right.
right? For a lot of people, movie is a movie, but of course, movie has its effects, right? So this is based on how well you're connected with your own emotions and how
Mm.
well you know what you're feeling, and you're allowing it to
Mm.
help you, or you're fighting it to bury it somewhere.
So, what kind of responses we can say this? Like, I am detached myself from the universe and I'm staying by my own. Is it acceptance, some kind of, or fawns, we can say? It is not people pleasing, right? Because they don't want to talk to the people,
It's it's
right?
it's fright, of course.
Yeah.
They're dissociating, detaching. They're just
Mm.
they don't want to communicate. They feel
Mm.
judged. They but they want to be accepted the way they are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't know how they are, so they change things, and then they're constantly angry towards the world, and they're
Mm.
angry with themselves because they can't figure themselves out.
Mm.
But it's a lot bigger responsibility to say that you're wrong. Like the other day, I wrote something on Instagram, I think, about something called what if your thinking is the problem?
Mm.
So one of the biggest form of intelligence is also called double loop learning,
Mm.
where you know things and you're sure of things, but then you still question it. So growth can ask something of us that isn't particularly comfortable. Question what we already believe, especially the beliefs we have carried for years, the
True.
ones that um, they have quietly become part of our identity.
Mm.
I'm the strong one. I don't trust people easily. I know
Mm.
when someone can't be trusted.
Mhm.
I have to be. I have to take care of everyone.
Mm.
You know, that's just who I am. I'm an angry man. I was born angry. I'm sensitive. So when we live with a belief long enough, it can stop feeling like a belief. It starts feeling like reality.
True.
And then my reality is the reality of the world. And that makes questioning it very, very difficult.
It's so deep.
Because the moment you ask whether the belief might be wrong, You may also have to reconsider
Hmm.
the story you have built around yourself.
Hmm.
What if your interpretation isn't the only possible interpretation?
Hmm.
What if there are parts of the story you haven't noticed?
Hmm.
What if something that once protected you has quietly started limiting you?
Hmm. Hmm.
So questions, so these questions don't require you to assume you're wrong.
Hmm.
They require something more interesting, which is curiosity.
Right.
The willing to pause and say, I wonder if there is another way of looking at this.
Right.
That's the heart of double loop learning.
Hmm.
You don't just examine the behavior, you examine the thinking underneath it, the assumptions, the beliefs, the rules you have created about yourself and the world.
Hmm.
Perhaps the most challenging question you can ask yourself is, what would I have to reconsider if I wasn't completely right about this?
Hmm. True.
So sit with that for a moment. It can be uncomfortable. It can also be a door. It can also open a door. You don't have to abandon who you are. You
True.
might simply discover that who you are is bigger
Yeah.
than the story you have been carrying about yourself for so long.
Hmm. So, uh, any kind of challenge till today you faced, like while practicing a bigger
With a
challenge?
client,
Yeah.
with a client, or so
Yes.
my biggest challenge was myself.
So sweet.
Absolutely. I started all this
Yeah.
and I practiced everything on myself first.
Mm. True.
Everything I learned, I applied it on myself.
Mm.
I, went through coaching. I went through all that. So my learning was as much as for myself,
True.
then to practice. So
Very true.
everything I learned, I sat down. It took me a long time um, to do my courses because I was applying it on myself. I would, like for example, when I started my first certification on counseling,
Mm-hmm.
and in counseling it covers everything. Um, and one of the things that was quite challenging was how different you are from your how different is your personal self from your public self.
Okay.
You know that one, right? So how to know that? Basically, the answer most of the time we give ourselves like, how can you be the same? Of course, when your personal self is different and public self is different, but how different?
True.
So I sat with people who are close to me
Mm.
and I asked them honestly, tell me how different I am.
Mm.
And it wasn't pleasant.
Mm.
I I had to sit down and majority of the time what I did is I did it inside a car, moving car. So there's
Okay.
no place to run. So I sit there and I hold myself. I feel anger. I feel sadness. I feel frustration. I feel like saying, no, no, no. I feel like, but it's like this, but that's like that. I felt all that, but I held myself and I didn't say anything. And I absorbed it, and I started managing myself and start seeing all that they were saying
Mm.
and try to be as much close to how I am in personal life and how I am in public life.
Bye-bye.
But still, at times, subconsciously, because our majority of our reactions are subconscious and unconscious. I do behave differently, but I'm in a place where I can step back, like, okay, why am I doing that? Why am I reacting that?
Right.
Where is this coming from?
Mm.
Without justifying it, I stay with the emotion and then I try to name it right. Okay, what
Mm.
is it? And then where is this coming from to understand it? And then I manage it. And
Mm.
then I because okay, how can you do something about something that do something about something which is subconscious or unconscious to you? That's a question to you.
To me, I need to. I need take time to think. Well, if it is for me, mostly unconscious thoughts, not very much because I think nature is helping me a lot. Because my concern is always or was always my parents, and I'm not going to hide it from anywhere.
But these are conscious things. You're
Uh,
aware of these things. But
no,
what
I'm
about
not.
the things that
I'm
you're
not.
not aware?
No. Yeah, maybe that fear factor I was not aware, but I identified that that's a fear always.
So what happened when you identified?
I resolved it. I
No, no, no,
analyzed.
no. Wait. Before that, something else happened, right?
Hmm.
Okay, let me make it simple.
Yeah. Okay.
You answered it already, right? You were not aware of something,
Hmm.
and then you became aware of it, and then you
Hmm.
did something about it.
Hmm.
So your unconscious and subconscious became conscious,
Hmm.
and only then you could take a step.
Hmm.
So us questioning ourselves is making our the things that are unconscious to us or subconscious to us,
Yeah.
making it conscious, and then now
Yeah.
we're aware of it, and then we become mindful of it. Oh, I'm doing this again. I'm doing scratching my nose, or I'm
Yeah.
giving simple examples of
Hmm.
how people do things, or and then them. So to for beliefs, if we were us questioning it, allowing ourselves to make unconscious
Exactly.
and subconscious conscious,
Exactly.
and then do something about
Yeah. So here you're saying that inviting that face which is bothering you and then sit with that. Right.
it. Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or from time to time, just sit with yourself and say, okay, what if I'm wrong about all these things?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if my thinking is the problem?
Hmm.
You know, what me not wanting confrontation is the problem.
Hmm.
Me
Yeah, so true.
me not wanting to, you know, or me not wanting loud noises, or where is this coming from? Okay, there's a story that I'm telling myself, right? But what if that story is the problem?
Yeah.
Not
True.
to be wrong, but to make it better.
Hmm.
Right? Nobody likes loud, things and confrontation and all those things all the time. But how is it affecting you? How
Hmm.
badly it's affecting you? For how long it's affecting you?
Hmm.
That's the issue.
True.
Emotions will come, feelings will come, all these things will come. But how long they stay with you? How badly
Hmm.
it affects you. Some people can't eat, some people can't sleep, some people go on for days and weeks.
Hmm.
Then there is something wrong.
Hmm.
Something needs to be questioned.
Hmm. Hmm. So much to discuss, isn't it? These topics are unending. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, is there any, I'm asking these questions to every guest, each and every guest, that if you'd like to share anything, a message to the world, that there is no magic wand for being happy. So, is there
So,
anything that you'd like to share, that uh, how to be
so,
happy every day? Happiness coach, I'm asking.
so there, if you can identify about 3 to 5 things
Mm,
in a day that brings you happiness, different types of happiness. It can be a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or just sitting somewhere silently, reading a book,
mm,
talking to a friend. If you can identify 3 to 5 of these things and keep them close to you and go to them every time you feel things, not to avoid things, but allowing the unhappiness while you go to these things to be happy.
mm.
It
Wow.
will help you on daily basis a lot to
Mm,
manage your own emotions. Try to name your emotions correctly. Question what you are naming. Try to name it in a 3 different words.
mm,
So if you say I'm angry, try to name it differently. Maybe see what it is. Is it really anger? Is it frustration? Is it annoyance? Is it disappointment? Is it what really is it?
mm,
And then you'll see the intensity of the emotion will reduce as you're able to name it correctly. And then
mm,
you can see, okay, why am I frustrated? And why am I annoyed? Why am I disappointed? Okay. Is it based on the expectations I had? Is it based on, you know, belief I have that things must be this way? If they're not this way, then this is wrong. Right? So again, the story you're telling yourself, the
mm.
fear you're carrying around that story.
So,
Question. Question yourself.
wow. It is definitely going to help so many.
Well,
Yeah.
the more we be brave with ourselves, the more we will be brave enough to everybody else. The more we become um, emotionally literate, emotionally
Mm,
intelligent, more self aware, the
mm,
more we can do more for others, the more we can be there for everybody else. When they say emotional literacy, emotional intelligence, and self awareness,
right.
then it goes into um self awareness, community awareness, and then you can do uh, more community work and help others. Because
Hmm.
you are not helping yourself, you're not able to help anybody else.
True. Very true. Very true. So I think we need to do more episodes on emotional literacy, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness
We
because
can. I think beside emotional literacy, distress intolerance is something which is really need to be talked about, and a lot of us we are doing it. Understanding anxiety as a whole, understanding sadness,
mm,
very easily named as depression now. Uh,
yeah,
so it's easy for people to throw words and then
yeah,
take it as and then start behaving that way. It's really good to understand the difference between these words and how it impacts us and impacts our lives.
mm, yeah. Loads of relationships will get improved because maybe some kind of intentional or unintentional words we are using, but not knowing the meaning of it, and it's creating complexity.
Or have we have a meaning,
Hmm.
but that's our meaning
Ah, yeah, yeah,
and the story we are telling,
yeah, yeah. True, true.
right? So again, our belief, our story, our
Hmm.
reality. So when we start thinking that our reality is the universal reality, then things become very difficult.
True. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah. So anything you would like to share, or we can
I think we are good for today.
okay.
Uh,
Okay.
we can
Okay.
continue again some other
Yeah,
time.
sure.
We'll pick a
Definitely.
different topic and we will maybe we'll talk about
Definitely.
distress intolerance, or we'll talk about um, any other topic you have in mind
Definitely.
and
Yeah,
discuss.
we can do episode wise. Episode one, two, three, four. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So thank you for joining and
Thank you so
sharing
much.
so
Thank you for
much.
having me. Wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, same here because you made it so easy. So I am sure that this terminology maybe many people haven't heard about, but uh, I'm sure that it is gonna help many people. So yeah. So we are meeting soon with the happiness coach. So for today, we are saying bye to our audience. Yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.